Hey, what's going on, folks? How we doing this evening? Yes, I know I have not done Ice Talk 101 in a really long time, it feels like. But, things happen and eventually you get back on the ball or in the rink, as some people would say. And tonight we're going to be joined by an inside the rink guy. Um, Seems really new to the system, and we'll find out though. I just met him like maybe 3, 4 days ago, and this is really my second conversation with him. So let's bring him in and see how he's doing. Let's bring in Nick.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for having me.
What's going on, Nick? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? How are you?
We're doing, man. We're doing. Just hanging out, getting through the off season. Just trying to get through it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing now. Now that all the craziness is over and everything, it's just now, relax, enjoy your summer.
Well, we got a new GM, we got new people in the house. Have you gotten to meet any of them?
No, I have not gotten to meet them. Would love to, but uh, unfortunately, I have not. But the things I've read about them, I really like the pickup.
Cal Dubas is seems to be trying to put this team in the correct order. We both know he's trying to pull this off to get Eric Carlson. Um, I'd be excited about this move. I don't know if it would be fully Stanley Cup move, but I feel it would be deep playoff move.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really think that getting him would be such a boost to the Penguins' offense. Even though he's a defenseman, I feel like acquiring him would be really good for just helping the Penguins get back to top 10 in scoring. Obviously, when you put up 25 goals on, as a defenseman, nonetheless, on a San Jose Sharks team that was not that good last year, it definitely shows how good of a offensive player he is.
I agree. I heard today on I was listening while I was at work driving around listening. I heard that he's probably not going to go to Carolina because I guess him and Burns did not get along very well. From what I was reading or listening to, I didn't know anything about this situation, but I am not a San Jose guy, so I did not know much about this situation.
I mean, it makes sense because when you look at both players, like they're both getting up there in age, they're both right shot defensemen, so it kind of makes sense because both of them were kind of competing for the same spot in the lineup. They both wanted to be that number one right pairing defenseman on San Jose. So I feel like if he did end up in Carolina, it wouldn't make any sense because, Carolina has, they have D'Angelo, they have Bones, they have, I think Slavin's the other right shot defenseman. I could be wrong on that. I think he's a right shot defenseman, though. So bringing him in wouldn't make sense with Carolina. And like I said, it would probably just recause that same issue that was developing in San Jose. Like, I don't see where he is much of a fit in Carolina, but it all depends on what Carolina would trade back to San Jose as well, which I don't know much about what would be the return if he did go to Carolina. So, yeah, I, I don't know. If they end up, you know, not moving one of those three defensemen and getting Burns, I don't see where he fits in the lineup. And you're not going to scratch him, especially for what he makes. You're not going to scratch Eric Carlson after acquiring him. So I don't know. I don't see where it makes sense for Carolina, in my opinion.
Well, you mentioned that Burns likes to shoot, but we have a defenseman that likes to shoot too. Do you feel they would work better together, or how would that work?
Well, I mean, if we did get Eric Carlson, I was actually thinking about this when you asked me to join this, and I mentioned that I wanted to talk about Eric Carlson. I sat at work like thinking about this, and one thing that I was really thinking about is if we were to acquire Eric Carlson, obviously him and Letang, you're not going to put them on the same pair, obviously. I would see Letang still being a top pairing right defenseman, where you would put Carlson on that second pairing. And then obviously you signed Ryan Graves, who is like an upgrade on Dumoulin, in my opinion. So you'd have Graves play with Letang, because I think they really would complement each other, where you put Carlson on that second pairing to have him play with someone like Pedersen. Um, and I think that would make more sense because, I mean, let's face it, Petrie's not anything special on that second pairing. Whereas in Carolina, you have three solid defensemen on that right side. Whereas in Pittsburgh, you only really have one. So that's kind of where I think it makes more sense. And there's a lot of rumors going around, and I think it's likely that Petrie ends up in San Jose or wherever the third team is in the trade. Petrie gets moved in this trade, so obviously that opens up a spot that Carlson will take in the lineup. So I think it makes I just think it makes more sense of having Carlson here than in Carolina.
Do you feel Granlund should be involved in this trade to try and dish off that $5 million cap?
Oh, I do. I think, you know, if you're gonna make a trade for Eric Carlson based on what his cap hit is, you're gonna need to move Petrie. You're gonna need to move Granlund, whether it's a buyout or involved in the trade. Because, now that Drew O'Connor is filed for arbitration,
I
that
saw
opens
that.
up a second buyout window for the Penguins. And I think whether it's buying out Granlund using that buyout, or it's putting him in the trade package. Either way, I think you need to move Granlund if you want Carlson to become a member of the Penguins. You need to move Granlund's contract.
Yeah, I think Ron Hextall really hurt this team more than helped.
I At first, I actually made an article talking about how I liked them. Keep in mind, this was the beginning of last season, before any other moves were done. I made an article saying that I liked the moves that he was doing, and then throughout last season, it was like, okay, I was wrong. I believed in Hextall, and now I'm like, I want him gone. I was hoping Kapanen was going to rebound. I was hoping Carter was going to have another good season, and none of that happened. And to make matters worse, he acquired Granlund, who isn't that good and not a fit in Pittsburgh. And yeah, I was glad to see him gone.
Another thing too that kind of caught me off guard, like a lot of these free agents he signed are all over 30.
Yes, I agree, but let's face it, the Penguins only have one or two good years left in them. Though, if
You
not
mean
this,
you mean with the trio, right?
yes, making the playoffs, being competitive, can compete for a Stanley Cup. They got 2 years at most left. Um, I think they're in a position, and I think Dubas knows that they're in this position where this core three's not getting any younger. You just got to go for it, and that's how I see it. And I think that's how he also sees it with the Carlson move. If he does it, you just got to go for it. You just got to take what you have currently. No, Crosby, Malkin, and Letang aren't getting any younger, excuse me, and you just got to go for it. You just got to go. No matter the age, you got to get good players. Just try your best to go win a cup one last time for the core three.
Did you like the Lars Eller signing?
I did. I like Lars Eller. One thing I like about him is he's always seemed to be a fit wherever he goes. Whether it was in Montreal, in Washington especially, he played a pretty good part of helping the Caps win the cup in 2018. Unfortunately, Um, and in Colorado, he's just a fit wherever he goes. He knows how to adapt to the playing system of the coach, and that's one thing I really like about him is he really knows how to adapt. And I think, especially another reason why I want them to move Granlund is have Lars Eller play that third line center where um he's basically played with Montreal, he played with Washington, he played with Colorado. Like if you put him on that third line center, I I think he's going to do good there.
Do you move Carter to the wing then?
Yes, you move him to the right wing. Yeah,
You know he ain't moving anywhere.
yeah. He's unfortunately, yeah. I think I have a little bit of hope that Carlson can rebound from last season. I know Carlson. Excuse me. I have Carlson on the brain. Carter. Um, I think he can rebound a little bit from what he did last season. He had his moments of good, but mostly it wasn't. But if there's one player that Hextall got that I could see rebounding, it's him.
Carter was here before Hextall, though.
No, we Hextall. That was one of his first moves. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure, at least.
I'm gonna look. I thought he was here before Carter.
No, I'm pretty sure that was one of his very first moves as a Penguin, as a NCM, was acquiring Carter. Because I believe the trade deadline that year was end of February, and he joined in the middle of February. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong, and you could totally be right on this. But I'm almost positive that Carter was one of Hextall's first moves.
I'm looking. I just thought he was here before that. I really did. I don't know why.
I'm, I mean, like I said, you absolutely could be right, and I could be wrong. But because I'm pretty sure in my article I mentioned the Carter trade as being one of his first moves.
Carter got here in 2021.
hmm I believe Hextall was hired like 2 weeks before, something like that.
I'm trying to find out. Now we're digging deep.
If I remember, I could be wrong, but I believe the exact date was February 9th, 2021, that Hextall joined. I'm trying to think off the top of my head here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to research it real quick.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time. I'm curious though. Because like I said, I could be completely wrong.
February 9th. You are correct that Hextall became the GM.
Thought so. Okay.
He knows what he's talking about, folks. You better. You're an insider.
I'm also just good with dates. I'm I'm pretty good when it comes to like hockey dates and stuff. Well, Penguins I should say, not full hockey.
Right.
Yeah. It also was a pretty dark day in Penn's history. So
I saw. Did you see? In 1986, the cover of Hockey Magazine. Did you see who was on the cover today?
oh, who was it? Was it
Lemieux and
Lemieux?
Gretzky.
Ah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. No, I didn't see that. That's awesome.
I was very excited.
Yeah, as it should, of course.
What did you think of him resigning Jari for a 5-year deal?
I'll be honest. That's the only L that Dubas took this entire offseason so far.
Might have he signed him to a 5-year deal so other teams don't have to restructure, and then all of a sudden, like they could trade him because he still has what 12 teams available, I think, that are on his no trade clause, off his no trade clause.
I mean, I think it's still possible that they could move Joey, but I
We have four
doubt.
goalies on this team now.
What?
We have four goalies on this team.
Yeah, I doubt they're gonna move Joey though. I mean, when the only thing that I'm honestly concerned about is his health. Like we've seen when he's healthy, he can be an all-star. He is an all-star caliber goalie when he's healthy. It's just the injuries. If he's when he's injured, he just I don't know. He seems to always he's really injury prone, and I think I think if he's healthy next season, he could become that all-star that we're used to seeing, and play good. I think if he's healthy and he's an all-star, he can take the Penguins deep into the playoffs. I think, in all honesty, but his health, like I said, he's just so inconsistent when he's not healthy, and he's inconsistent of his health. So it's just I don't know. I'm not a fan of the signing, like I said, but I think it's possible that it can be good. Like I'm not completely counting it out yet, but um, I wasn't a fan when I saw it. I was a bit disappointed, but I'm a positive person, and I'm more of a let's see what happens next season rather than judge it right now. Because who knows? He might play out of his mind the next 5 seasons.
Right.
Um, he might, he might win a Vezina for all we know. He might become like Olmark was this year for the next 5 years, or he could go back to how he was this year and be inconsistent because of his injuries. Like I said, if he's healthy next season, I could see him. I could see him being good. Like he was. What year was it? 2020, 2021, something like that. And he was good. He was an all-star. I think it was 2020.
2020. That was the
That was the
COVID.
COVID year.
Yeah, the COVID crap.
Yeah, because the Penguins, I think, were. I think the Pens were. No, they didn't. They didn't win their division.
No,
No,
we didn't. I don't even
Philly.
think we made
Philly.
the playoffs, did we?
Well, we made the play-ins.
I
And
mean,
then
we haven't won it. Well, I'm sorry, we didn't win obviously because we haven't won a playoff
no,
series in 2018.
no. That was the year they were fifth, and they were expected to destroy Montreal. And Jeff Petrie and Carey Price, of course, carried
Dude,
Montreal.
Montreal is our they're our kryptonite.
I know. The Pens can't do anything against Montreal, no matter how bad they are.
No, I no, no, that's it. That is our kryptonite, and it's horrible. It's no good. It's just
Yeah.
so Sullivan's not a big guy, but he brings back Ryan Graves. Why?
I think one thing I think about what the Penguins wanted to do this offseason, and I actually read this and wrote about it, was Dubas was really focused on getting players that were good at defending. And, well, keep in mind, they did lose Brian Dumoulin, who signed with Seattle. And Letang and Dumoulin have been a good pairing for, how many years now. Um, they've always been, the dynamic duo first pairing on defense for Pittsburgh. But when you lose a guy like Dumo, who I know didn't have that good of a season last year, but I mean, when you lose a guy like Dumo, it sucks, especially for a guy like Letang, who really, Letang was the offense-driven defenseman on the pairing. Well, Dumo was the defensive defenseman on the pairing. Ryan Graves is a pretty solid defensive defenseman, and one thing I liked is it really seemed, based on who Dubas signed, they were really focusing on defense and guys who wanted, like, basically guys you want to have on the ice when you're leading by a goal with 2 minutes left. Because the Penguins blew how many leads last year, right? They it was horrible. It was horrible to watch. Let's be honest here. It sucked.
We lost so many dumb games last year,
Yeah, especially
and
games we were leading with like 5 minutes left.
and I feel a lot of it was because they didn't want to change the way they were playing,
Yeah.
and that's not good.
Oh no, it's not. But like I said, the guys who they signed are guys who you want on the ice with like 2 minutes left when you're leading by a goal. Like they're really defensive minded players. And that's one thing I like about Graves is he's big. He's not afraid to use that size of his, which I feel like the Penguins needed and they lacked on
He's six
defense.
four, I believe, right?
What did you say?
I think he's 6'4".
I think 6'3", 6'4", something like that. He's
And
a big
Shea
boy.
and the other guy we signed, Ryan Shea, is 6'6".
Yeah, I mean, I don't anticipate Shea being in the NHL next season. If he is, it'll be like if an injury or something to one or two of our defensemen, but I don't see him at all being like a full-time NHL guy. But yeah, like I said, he's like a bigger, in my opinion, better version of Dumoulin. And I think one thing the Penguins lacked was size. Someone to be physical and be, not afraid to rough it up a little bit on the back end. And that's what you're getting with Graves. You're getting a nice, sizable defenseman who uses his body well and makes it hard for players to get in. So I like it.
I do too. I do too. I was thinking like I understand we signed guys all over 34, like all in our 30s, and maybe they'll click.
I think so. I like Achari for, a fourth line center, because Palin's gone. Um, so I like Achari as the fourth line center. Like I said, if you can move Granlund and have Ella as the third line center, I really like that. I think Ella's going to play. I think Ella could definitely help Carter improve based on what he was last season. And I'm just trying to think off the top of my head here. Who would play on that left wing? Because Drew O'Connor would probably be on the fourth line. Who would you have on that left wing?
In the third line,
Yeah. Because DOC will be on that fourth line with Achari and no, not Archibald. Archibald didn't resign. Shoot.
that's right. We lost Archibald.
He went to Tampa. That's right.
Let me call the roster real quick. And
I was going to say, who's the other guy we signed? I've been thinking about the players we've signed all day. There's one player I know I'm missing. Graves. It was another forward. Graves.
Nylander.
Oh, Nylander. That's right. Yeah, he'll probably be on that fourth line.
He's probably gonna be with Malkin.
You think?
I think. You don't think?
Uh,
Or are you putting him on the first line?
Nylander.
It's 25.
I mean, because the first line you'd have Getzel, Crosby, and Raquel. Second line you'd have Smith, Malkin. Yeah, throw Nylander up there, I guess. Oh no, and Rust. So I could see Nylander being on the third line, unless you bring Rust down.
No way.
You don't. Yeah, so I don't know what Nylander would fit in that. Maybe Smith on the third line. See, that's hard.
That's
Depends on
difficult right there.
I know, because
Nylander was definitely Dubas's guy.
no, I agree. Nylander's a solid player. Well, Dubas knows his brother well, obviously. So, yeah, I agree. Nylander God, that is difficult because, like I said, I feel like you put Nylander maybe on that third line because I don't think you can put him on the fourth.
I
See,
don't
that's
know.
hard. That's hard.
Yeah, because he's the youngest one here, right?
Yeah. God,
Young.
that is hard. The only place I can think of is putting him on the third line.
So where do you put Nita?
Oh my god, this is hard.
I'm making you think already. I like it.
It
Thank
would
God
have
I
to be the.
just play your games with one line.
It would have to be the fourth because where else are you gonna put him?
I don't know. And then you still need a third line center too.
Well, like I said, get Ella that third line center. So your third line would be Nylander, Ella, and Carter, and then your fourth line, Achari. Do you maybe bring
I mean,
Zohana
if we
back
don't
up?
get rid of Grunlin, what do you do?
Oh, well, if you don't get rid of Granlund, that's first off a huge mistake. I'm just gonna be honest.
Well, he's going to have to play. There's a lot of money invested. They're not going to let
No,
that go to waste,
I
unfortunately.
know he's gonna have to play.
Would that be your fourth line center if it has to be?
I really don't like you right now. Um, but
Grunlin, Carter, and
it would have to probably be Granlund center, Carter right. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but Nylander left, and then that fourth line would have to be Eller center. I think it's sorry can play left.
I say you drop Carter to the fourth.
Drop Carter to the fourth.
Let
I could see
Grunlin and
that. I
Carter
could see
run.
that.
Let
I could see
Grunlin
that.
and Carter run that fourth line.
Yeah, I could see it.
Maybe put the Nito or even Nylander on that line to have some speed a little bit.
I mean, God, this is so hard. Penguins have too many forwards. Dude, let's get rid of one.
Well,
Oh,
hopefully
God.
this trade happens and we get rid of one.
Please, for the love of God, beat Mikael Granlund. Get him off my team. Um, oh, God. But, yeah, I mean, Nieto, you don't put him anywhere third liner up. He's a fourth line guy. His goal is he's just a fourth line guy. Like, he's the type of player you put on your fourth line. Like, speedy fourth line guy. That's what Matt Nieto is. Simple. Achari, fourth line guy. Um, if we
You
don't,
really put Grunlin and Carter on a third line?
ah, um, I okay. I'll say this: having both of them on the same line would be hell to watch as a Pens fan. Um, it
We're
would be.
gonna get it's gonna be hell wherever you put them anyway.
No, but having Granlund and Carter on one line, that's that's not good. I'm sorry, that's not gonna work. Um, honestly, if let's say we do keep Granlund, I would like it. Honestly, it may sound crazy, but can we scratch Carter? Have Granlund play where Carter is? Just scratch Carter. I mean,
Okay. I don't think Sullivan's gonna do that because Sullivan's a
I know. I don't. I know he won't.
He's a loyal guy. That's what we'll call him.
He is. He definitely is. Um, Sometimes that's great in a hockey club. Sometimes it's not. This case, it's not. But because I don't want to see O'Connor or Nieto scratch. Like,
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention Connor.
well, I feel like if he plays both of them, it's gonna be O'Connor, the one getting the shaft, or Nieto. One of those
Okay.
two is gonna sit. Which I don't want them to. It's gonna be one of them. 'Cause I don't. If they scratch Lowe's Ella, that's a mistake. Scratching Nylander is a big mistake, and I don't think Dubas is gonna let that happen. Um, yeah, it's just it's a tough situation. I'm not gonna lie. The Penguins have a tough situation in the bottom six right now.
Right. Are any of the draft picks going to be up here soon?
I mean, oh, that's another conversation because I think Laguerre looks pretty good. You know, Poland. I know he had, he kind of stopped playing for a while due to his mental health, which, hey, I respect it. Take care of yourself. That's obviously really important, but, he's going to start in the AHL again this year. Depending on how Poland looks, maybe he could earn a call up, but Laguerre, maybe too. Um, I'll say this right now. If the Penguins do trade Granlund, in like, let's say they acquire Carlson, right? They trade Granlund, as the forward piece, get him off the team, and then somehow, some way, Jeff Carter just looks bad again, and then Dubas, whether it's on waivers or whatever, gets rid of Carter, then you call up one of them.
So would you go after Philip Zadina?
One of my friends have actually been texting me this that they really, actually, a few of my friends have been texting me this saying that they really want the Pens to go after him.
He just cleared it. He cleared the first waivers, so no
Mm-hmm.
one paid that
Well,
contract.
now he's on
And
the
then today, then
protected.
today he went through a second waivers to terminate the
Yeah.
contract.
See, I like him, but
He's giving up a lot of money to do this,
no, I know he's taking a bet on himself there.
but he
I
is
don't
only
know.
23, and he is a really good player.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. See, that's just another problem because the Penguins already have a bottom six problem, and then you add Zadina into the mix. What are you gonna do? Like,
You'd have youth.
yes, you would have youth, and that's the positive of it, but you have so many bottom six players. You have to make a trade then. You have to. But what are you gonna do? Trade one of the guys you just signed? Like, that's what I mean. That's what makes
That's
it
why.
so hard.
That's why we're on a podcast, not in the GM seat.
That makes it so hard. I mean, if you want to get rid of Carter, if you want to ship Granlund to San Jose, ship him to Mars for all I care. I don't care. Get Granlund off my team. I'll keep saying it. But if you get Zadina, then you got to get rid of Carter and Granlund. You got to get rid of them both. You just
I,
have to, I think.
I'd be perfectly happy with that.
Because, and not to mention,
Just to let you know, Zadina gave up 5.4
yeah.
for the next 2 years.
Well, yeah, like I was just going to say, Pens only have 500,000 left in cap space, so if they want Zadina, he's going to ask for a decent term in his contract and, well, decent money, I should say. I don't know about term, but decent money. And you're going to have to get rid of one of these, like a Granlund or a Petrie or somebody, to sign him.
Especially after seeing Kopitar get 2 years, 14 mil.
Exactly. Like,
But Kopitar is a two-time Stanley Cup champion. He has a little more on his resume.
well, yeah, like, and he's still a good player. Like, Kopitar is still a good two-way player. Like, you know, he's
I
played.
like Kopitar.
I do too. I like him.
It's a shame they're on the West Coast and those games are always late.
I know he's fun to watch. He's so good defensively too. I mean,
I always
obviously,
try to get him on my fantasy team, so at least I can pay attention to the stats.
yeah, yeah. Oh my god, I don't know. Just the Penguins bottom six right now. It. I don't want to say it's unorganized mess, but something has to give. Right? You need to do something. You just need to do something.
I saw the Leafs are trying to get rid of Matt Murray now too.
No.
No, I would never bring him back. God no, that glove hand's awful.
Oh, I thought that's where you're going with that. I was gonna say no, no, no,
No,
no. No.
no,
But
I would
yes,
just I would just I just saw that earlier today that they
yeah,
were trying to get rid of
yeah.
Matt Murray.
Yeah, they are. And I've actually been watching. I don't know if you watch like the Steve Dangle podcast and like the Sportsnet podcast. That's just some like interesting. That's actually what I heard about the CBA rule that if you get a player on file for arbitration, you can have an extra buyout, like an extra free like buyout time.
So
I
you
guess
think they told O'Connor to get on arbitration just for this purpose?
no, because I know that Dubas doesn't like buying out players, and I don't know how the new management feels, but I know the old management back when like Lemieux had most ownership hated hated players getting bought out. That's why it never really happened. The last player to get bought out for the Penguins was Jack Johnson. That was back when GMJR was around.
And
The, the,
he just
the
got
team.
released by the Habs, right?
What? Sorry?
And he just got released, right?
No, he just who? Jack Johnson?
Yeah,
From us, he got released, yeah, but he just re-signed with Colorado, I think.
I thought he just got released.
No, I think he just re-signed with Colorado.
I
Actually,
thought he wrote a big thank you letter to him.
did he?
I thought so. All
No,
right, let's
no, I didn't
check
know
it
that.
out.
I thought I read somewhere that he signed with Colorado.
Let's
Let's see if I
see.
go, let's see if I go 2-0 or 1-1.
Oh, never mind. I signed a 1 year deal, 775,000.
Huh, that's what I thought. I thought he re-signed with Colorado.
I don't know what I was reading, man.
I don't know. Maybe Eric Johnson who left Colorado for Buffalo.
Oh, maybe.
Because Eric Johnson signed with Buffalo. He left Colorado.
Like I said, I'm just getting my feet back into hockey here. It's my first podcast on this channel in probably 8 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I can be back for you. Can help you that.
I've been so sidetracked with everything else going on, and I don't know. Sometimes you don't have time for everything.
Yeah, I completely get that.
So, I try to do hockey because I really like hockey. I just
Mhm.
haven't had time.
No, I get that. I mean, I really only follow like two sports religiously, and that's hockey, um, in NASCAR. So
NASCAR.
yeah.
I love the street races.
Oh yeah, that street race in Chicago is awesome.
I like the dirt tracks now too. I think that's pretty neat.
Uh, yeah, Bristol Dirt's pretty cool. I was actually gonna go to Bristol Dirt this year, but because of the threat of rain and everything, I ended up not going. But
Should have
I was
went.
going to.
Should have went.
No, I should have. I wanted to, but uh, kind of got
Get a chance. At
down
least
on
you
that.
should at least go to Michigan. Michigan was fun.
Oh, Michigan.
Yeah, pure
The
Michigan.
only
That was. It's not called pure Michigan anymore, but when I was there, that's what it
yeah.
was.
Well, the only NASCAR tracks I've been to are Bristol, Night Race, Richmond, and Pocono, and then I got a tour of Daytona.
Are you in Pittsburgh, Nick?
Yeah. Well, I'm like 20 miles east.
Okay, so you're like past Monroeville.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
I'm in
right.
Weirton. I'm in Weirton, so I'm like, but I grew up in Brookline, so
Oh, really?
yeah, so I'm
That,
like 40. I'm like 40 minutes out from the
oh,
city.
I was gonna say I'm like 10 minutes from Monroeville. I actually went to Murraysville. That's where I got my lunch today or my dinner.
Nice. You go
I
to the
stopped at
sheet.
McDonald's in Murraysville to get my lunch or my
You
dinner.
go to the sheets on 22.
That's where I was gonna go. That's where I was gonna go for dinner, and I was like, nah, I want McDonald's.
I can't eat. It's an older thing. You can't eat McDonald's eventually, Nick. It eventually, like, for wears on your stomach.
I haven't had McDonald's in a while, and I was like, I really don't feel like making dinner after work. I'm just gonna stop there. It's on the way home, so
Right. Even though I do get the craving for a cheeseburger every once in a while. I think
uh,
it's I think it's just the pickles though.
I just get McNuggets, McNuggets, fries. It was actually funny.
You get the basket and the 20 piece.
Nah, I just get 10-piece nuggets, medium fries. I'm a short dude. I don't eat that much.
Gotcha.
But it was
Gotcha.
funny though, because when I was in the drive-through, I said to the dude, "Can I?" Because it's like you. I'm assuming. Well, you live in PA, right? You live,
I live
Pittsburgh.
in West Virginia right now.
Oh, you live in
But
the
I am literally like I'm
40 minutes.
I'm 5 miles from Ohio, 5 miles from PA, right from the
Ah,
house. So I'm
okay. So
like
you,
right in that little triangle, and it ain't bad.
well, you probably have the similar weather to me. Like it was hot as hell outside today.
Yeah, I worked outside today. It was not fun.
I didn't work outside, luckily, but well, anyway,
That
it
rain,
was
it
so hot.
dropped 25 degrees when it rained today in Pittsburgh, up there in Imperial.
Oh, it rained for you?
Oh yeah, and it
Oh, it didn't
dropped like
rain here.
20, it dropped like 26 degrees. I was like, to
Oh, it
breathe.
didn't rain here. My car was saying 100 at one point. I was like, what the hell?
So
But yeah,
what do you think of the goalie signing of Alex? I can't pronounce his last name.
Nedeljko,
Nadalchik, yes.
Alex Nedeljkovic. Nedel, Nedeljkovic, I think is how you pronounce it.
I like this sign. I like this kid last year
I like him
when he was
too. I
in
mean,
Detroit.
he's a pretty, like, I think if the Penguins do trade for Carlson, DeSmith is going to go in the deal. So I like him as a backup. Um,
You don't think they get rid of Jar, trying to push Jari in this deal because he's already signed, and then possibly trade for Gibson,
no,
bring Gibson back home, Monroeville Gibson, right?
I don't think Dubas likes him. So as much as I would like to see Gibson here, I just don't think it's going to happen. I'd be surprised if it does, to be honest with you. I don't think Dubas likes him that much, is what I read. So
Okay.
I I know there's a lot of people that are still holding out hope, but I don't. I think he's rolling with Gully as a starter. I think that contract proved that. I think he's going to roll with Gully as a starter in the next season.
Maybe that was Sullivan's agreement to bring Ryan Graves back.
I mean,
because Sullivan hates those players.
I don't. I mean, I think
It
do
makes a
like
little bit of sense. It does because Sullivan never wanted the big players.
yeah. I mean, I think Dubas is kind of like talking him into more of wanting the big players, like showing like, hey, most teams that are successful has this big defenseman. Like look at Vegas who won the cup. All of the defensemen are over 6'1", I think. All of them, every single one, all six over 6'1". I mean, you need big defensemen to win the cup, I think,
I think so too.
and I think
Defense wins championships.
yeah, and I think you need at least one big solid defensive defenseman like Graves to win a Stanley Cup.
Sure would have helped last year or 2 years ago.
Oh, he would have helped 2 years ago, definitely.
At least would have got past New York.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It would have helped so much. But yeah, I think Dubas is kind of more persuading, I guess, Sullivan that he needed that type of player on the team.
I completely agree, Nick. I completely agree.
Yeah, I like it. Like I said, I think he's an upgrade over Dumoulin. He's bigger, in my opinion, better. Especially, not especially, but based on last season, I think he's better. Um, I think he'll complement Letang pretty nicely on that first pair, and yeah, I like it. Like I said,
I do too. I do too, Nick. I'm ready.
oh, I'm ready too. Is it September yet? Or October yet?
No, no, we're still in rookie camp.
Don't mind me. I haven't gone on summer vacation yet.
Where are you going?
Going to Outer Banks.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's always exciting to get the hell out of here for a little bit.
Oh, it'll be nice.
When you going?
Saturday. I leave 6 a.m. Saturday morning.
What is it, about 12 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours?
I'm honestly not sure. I've never been there, so
Well, enjoy your trip, Nick.
I
Enjoy your
will.
trip.
I'll be like busy doing something, right? Like having fun. I'll check my phone and like it'll say 2 hours ago Eric Carlson got traded to Pittsburgh, and I'll be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Right? You're going to have to come on for breaking news from the beach. How
I'll be
badass would that be?
I'll be screaming from the beach, like in the water, breaking news. I'll do like one of those. I don't know if you follow Kevin Weeks on Twitter,
I believe I follow him.
but like his like breaking news videos that he does from like the most random ass locations. I'll be like one of those.
Well, if we do get that breaking news, I will bring you on the show and we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
From
I'm
the
sure I'll be
beach,
able
Nick.
to.
How badass would that be?
Huh.
You could just jump on your phone. Hey,
I'll probably not be at the beach during the night. I'll probably be back in the beach house, but I'll still probably find the time to do this.
sounds good. Nick, next time you're on, though, you got to put your Twitter handle as your name.
I got you. I definitely will. Yeah.
Um, so
So I
yeah,
can.
I sent you the link from Ice Talk 101
Okay. I did get the
to. So I just wanted to let you know that this is what we're on tonight.
sounds good.
Um, yeah, but I found you on the corner booth, so it's all good.
Sounds
You
good.
probably like the most people are like, corner booth. Why are you talking to me? Oh, you're a Boston guy. No,
Is that your account, like backup account or something?
but yeah, Nick, I had a lot of fun tonight. Do we have
Yeah.
anything else we have
Sure.
to cover?
No, I mean, not really.
I,
The only really thing everyone's talking about here is Eric Carlson going to be a Penguin? That's really the only headline that's been blowing up my phone the past like week and a half.
I think it's a matter of when, not if.
I'm kind of feeling that way too. I think Pittsburgh's the front runner. I don't know what Carolina is slash has to offer. So I don't know. Only time's gonna tell, right? We can't predict the future, so we'll see.
I like it. Well, Nick, how do people get a hold of you?
You can follow me on Twitter at uh LTR or ITR, excuse me, ITR Nixer NIKSHER. You can follow me on Instagram at nshermeter04
Ooh, got the Instagram, huh?
NSHEMETO04. And I do have a YouTube channel as well. Nixer NIKSHER.
What do you do on
Um,
your YouTube channel?
I mainly talk hockey. I was trying to get back into it, but due to my new job, it's I get off at 4 like every day, so it's hard to like come home and make content. So I mostly just stick for the writing now, but I'm gonna try to get back more into videos, especially if this Carlson deal, if slash when this Carlson deal happens. I'll definitely have a video on it, unless it
Sweet.
happens during my vacation. Um, but yeah, um, that's pretty much how. If you want to get a hold of me, yeah, I'm mostly active on those three.
I like it. I like it. Well, as you know, we are on at Ice Talk 101 tonight. I'm at Sports Talking It on my regular Twitter. Um, I'm not sure. I know I have baseball coming up this weekend to talk about. You can find us on Driving to the Top, also Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube and the Twitter handle. I believe I have baseball on Sunday night, and I think that's the next thing we got. I know Matt's live right now talking about the Terps or the Orioles. They were kicking the living shit out of the Yankees tonight. I do
Oh,
know that because I had Serena Cervino on the hill, and I looked, and he was worth -4 points. So, but hey, I thank everyone for tuning in. And Nick, stick around for a minute. We'll talk a little bit after the show. And
sounds good.
like I said, I thank you for coming on and trying to get me back into the ice talk because I feel I need to be.
Yeah, it's no problem. Thanks for having me on so much. I appreciate it. I know this is actually the first podcast I've ever been on in my life. So yeah, it's my podcast debut, and I hope to
I
be
like
on
it.
many more of yours and
So last
people.
so last night we had Ducky, who is like a big USFL Mauler guy, but he's never done a podcast, and he jumped on last night, but he wouldn't show his face. Um, he was with an avatar in front of his screen the whole time, but you knew it was him because of the voice. So that was pretty cool. So I had back to back first night podcasters, and I thank everyone for coming on for sure.
Yeah, like I said, thanks for having me so much. I appreciate it a lot. This was really fun to talk about. Honestly, it's something I've kind of like have always like dreamed about is sitting with another person and just talking hockey on a
Yeah,
channel or
I'm
something.
sorry I'm not as knowledgeable as you, but let me restudy this a little more. We'll
No,
we'll be
it's
back on.
fine. I'm happy to spread my knowledge as well. And yeah, I like I said, thanks so much for having me on. This was so much fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, so yeah, we're gonna get back into hockey, folks. We're gonna be running full speed here again on Driving to the Top. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and everybody have a good night.
Yep. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for watching.